All right. So from this chapter, we are going to see part 2, media and processes. And this is the first chapter of the part 2, drawing. So everyone, what's drawing? Can you say what the drawing is in art?
Usually or sometimes an outline.
Oh, outline. Very good. Any other opinions? No? No idea? All right, let's see what the drawing is. So drawing has been used as preliminary steps. Many artists have traditionally learned by making drawings of other artists' work. They did so to learn how earlier artists made their images, but also to develop their eyes, meaning their taste or um, preference for the great art of the past. Studying and drawing works from ancient Greece and Rome was a standard practice for Western artists from 15th century until well into the 19th century. So everyone, let's see this drawing. Can you guess what this drawing is about? I know it's so hard. Just, guess.
Basketball.
Oh, basketball. That's what I thought when I saw this drawing first time. So here is a hint. The first composition study for Guernica by Pablo Picasso. Do you remember the Guernica painting? I showed you, this painting, the very first meeting. No one?
Is it a painting of the war?
Yes. Oh my gosh. You're the only one who remembered this, Guernica painting, the whole, my courses. Very good. Yes, this is the one. You know what? This is, better, guess and the planning for the Guernica painting. Thank you, Jennifer. And so, you know, this seems like a idea sketch with the scribble drawing line, and nobody can assume what is going to be, right? I thought the basketball things happen here. And this one looks better to guess his planning. And looks like a drawing with charcoal. It shows more detailed plans with settles composition and the flow of emotions by emphasis and subordination. This is a typical drawing as preliminary steps before the main work of art. Like Pablo Picasso, many of artists use drawing as preliminary steps before they begin with paintings or sculptures because they are hard to fix when they make a mistake. So, yeah, this is the version of the work of art based on the previous drawings. The drawings are not always preliminary steps toward a final work of art in other medium. Today, artists have a wide array of drawing surfaces and materials to choose from. And they are dry and liquid media for drawing. And dry media are generally applied directly In stick form, liquid media are generally applied with a tool such as a pen or a brush. Let's see dry media first. This is a graphite drawing. A graphite is a raw material of a pencil, a soft crystalline form of carbon first discovered in the 16th century. And graphite is a naturally occurring drawing medium. Pure, solid graphite need only be minded, then shaped into a convenient form. And the next one we're going to see is metal point. Um, this is also called like a silver point. Um, the metal point, which is the ancestor of the graphite pencil, and it is an old technique that was especially popular during the Renaissance. Few artists use it now because it is not very forgiving of mistakes or indecision. Once put down, the lines cannot easily be changed or erased. The drawing medium is a thin wire made of a relatively soft metal, such as silver, set into a holder for convenience. So let me share a video about the metal point for your understanding.
Metal point is the art of drawing with a metal stylus on a surface coated with a special, slightly abrasive ground. Almost any metal can be used, but silver is by far the most common choice. Most grounds in Northern and Italian Renaissance metal point drawings contain bone ash, a gritty powder made from roasted and crushed animal bones. Italian artists frequently used colored grounds, minerals from the earth such as red clay, terre verte or green earth, and yellow ochre. Artists also tinted grounds with organic colorants such as indigo, the dye used in blue jeans. Here, bone ash and powdered indigo are mixed together on a slightly roughened slab of glass. Before the availability of commercially produced materials, artists, or more likely apprentices in their workshops, prepared paints and grounds by hand. Adding water facilitates the even blending of the two pigments. The indigo and bone ash are now mixed with the Mueller, a hard glass tool with flat roughened bottom. Looking carefully, you can see some of the large particles of the white bone ash. The pigments are gathered and put into a container to combine later with a binding agent, the substance that holds together the particles and adheres them to the paper. Dried flakes of animal glue are mixed with water. The mixture will be heated and then added to the pigments and stirred. More glue or pigment can be added to improve the consistency of the ground and its ability to be brushed out onto paper. While the mixture is warm, it is applied evenly on paper using a wide brush. Artists today coat papers by hand using commercially available paints or purchase papers already manufactured with an abrasive coating. Leonardo and his circle often drew on grounds colored with indigo. This pink ground contains red dyes made from plants or insects. The mineral-based pigment lead tin yellow provides the color in this ground. Most often, artists drew on white grounds. Artists used the prepared paper to make preliminary studies for paintings, to make rapid sketches, or to create finished works of art.
All right, so that was the metal point drawing. Now let's see charcoal drawing. Charcoal is charred wood techniques for manufacturing. It have been known since ancient time. The best quality artist charcoal is made from special vine or willow twigs, slowly heated in an airtight chamber until only sticks of carbon remain black, brittle, and feather-light. So let me show you a video to see the diverse types of the charcoal in drawing. So there are three popular types. So one is the the vine or willow twigs type, and another one is like this stick type, and the other one is the pencil type.
Let's learn about charcoal. Charcoal is so much fun. It is so versatile and beautiful and expressive. Let's talk about some of the different tools you can use when creating art with charcoal. First of all, you have compressed charcoal. Compressed charcoal is dark. You can make controlled lines. You can really press hard, and it is pretty hard to erase. It blends out really well, but you can really get in large areas, coverage. Notice it does make a lot of dust. Make sure not to inhale the dust. This is all around charcoal. You can use it for anything. You can lay stuff out. You can use it to create like a shaded object with a sphere, which I'll show you in my next video. Next, we have vine charcoal. Willow or vine charcoal is made with sticks from grapevines or willow. It's soft and it's made without a binding agent, so it's basically just a burnt piece of stick. It allows it to be erased really easily. It's really soft. You cannot get a lot of dark tones with your charcoal. I use willow or vine charcoal to lay out my composition on canvases when I'm going to paint, and it can easily be erased with a rag. So if you're not sure what you're going to do, use that willow or vine charcoal. I like to use the black erasers to erase my charcoal. You can see how easily willow and vine charcoal can be erased, while the compressed charcoal is a little bit tougher to erase. Using your eraser as a drawing tool is also a really good idea. You can get back in there and add highlights with that.
All right, so that was charcoal. Now let's see crayon drawing. Crayon and pastels are made of powdered pigments, the same as those used to make paint, mixed with the binder. For crayons, the binder is a greasy or waxy substance. The coloring crayons we give the children, for example, use a wax binder. Finer, denser, more brilliant versions of these crayons have been developed for artists. And the next dry medium of drawing is pastel. Pastel consists of pigment bound with a non-greasy binder, such as a solution of gum arabic or gum tragacanth and water. The principle is simple enough that artists can manufacture their own if they choose mixing pigment and binder into a doughty paste, then rolling the paste into sticks and letting it dry. Available in a full range of colors and several degrees of hardness, Pastel is often considered a borderline medium, somewhere between painting and drawing. Artists favor soft pastels for most work, reserving the harder ones for special effects or details. Because they are bound so lightly, pastels leave a velvety line of almost pure pigment. So this is Edgar Degas' pastel drawing work, and he was a French impressionist artist with famous pastel drawings and oil paintings. Please watch this video. The video is in week 5-2 of the Moodle Room. And the last dry media of drawing is chalk. Chalk is the name for a kind of soft white limestone. In art, the word has been used less precisely to name three soft, finely textured stones that can be used for drawing, such as black chalk, red chalk, and white chalk. Like graphite, these stones need only be mined and then cut into convenient sizes for use. So this is a street artist David Jean's chalk drawing on a street. So let's watch this video together. You're gonna love it. He's an amazing street artist. Aren't they amazing?
To be honest, I was just desperately searching for any excuse to be outside on a nice day. My rationalization was that any time an artist is making any kind of art, no matter how ridiculous, he or she is technically doing his or her job. There's always streaks and specks and objects on the sidewalk, and if you stare at them long enough, they start to show you other things that they would like to be. The things I like most about making art on the sidewalk are that it's childish, which makes it a great way to reconnect with that supreme self-confidence we all had as children. It's anonymous, so you don't have to worry about being embarrassed about what you've drawn, because if you don't put your name on it, no one will know it was you. And it's unpreservable. Since the art itself can't be saved or sold or given away, there are fewer distractions from just the joy of drawing for the joy of drawing.
All right. So he was the amazing street artist, David Jean. And let's move on to the liquid media. There are pen and ink or brush and ink drawing for liquid type of the medium. But liquid media is not really popular media for drawing. So we're gonna just skip this part. And now let's talk about the paper as a drawing medium. Paper is essential material for drawing. And we'll see what the paper is with the brief paper history and paper as medium in drawing. Paper is wool or fiber beaten to a pulp mixed with water and spread in a thin layer over a fine mesh surface and left dry. Um, our word paper is derived from the Latin word papyrus, which is the ancient Romans used to designate both a plant that grew along the banks of the Nile River and writing material that the ancient Egyptians made from it. So let's see a brief paper history here. Paper was invented in China in 2nd BCE, and Buddhist monks spread news of the paper making technique across Asia. And about 8th century, Muslim arose in Middle East, and the Muslim played a role as a bridge between China and Europe to spread the paper making technique. So European learned paper making from Muslim neighbors. In 13th century, paper was being manufactured in the West. After Industrial Revolution in 19th century, paper began to be produced by machine. And finally, instead of individual sheets, machines manufactured paper in continuous roll. In 20th century, paper had become the ubiquitous material we know today, such as newspapers, magazines, advertising posters, and other products. So now let's see how artists use the industrial paper as one of the artistic medium beyond traditional drawing. In 1912, this new visual reality found its way into art in a revolutionary way, and many artists changed their style from representational to non-representational. Sounds very familiar story, right? So do you remember the reason why many artists suddenly abandoned the traditional style for abstract art? What was the reason?
The camera?
Photography. Yes, very good, Chris. So the first step was by Pablo Picasso. And Georges Braque was Picasso's friend, and he began experimenting in earnest with bringing pieces of industrially printed paper directly into his abstract drawing, like this. So Georges Braque's invention, which was taken up immediately by Pablo Picasso, became known as papier-collé, French for pasted paper. A broader term for its collage from the French for the pasting or gluing, and papier-collé is by definition made of paper. Collage does not imply any specific materials. So after Pablo Picasso and Georges Braque, many artists adopted this method of compositing a picture by gathering bits and pieces from various sources. So let's see the examples of the collage work. So this is a Romer Berdin's Mysterious, which is a collage work as of art genre in 1964. So everyone, what can you see through this work of art? What can you feel?
I can see faces.
Very good. What else?
Paperwork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good. And can you guess what's going on here?
Like people focus on something
Oh, yes.
or
Yeah.
watching something.
Watching something, yes. Staring something, yes. Very good. So Berdon was grown up as an African American in rural North Carolina. And now, as you can see, the African American folk tradition quilting in Berdon's hand here. And we can see rhythms and improvisatory nature of jazz. And there is African sculpture in this collage work, and a train on the left top corner means outside world, which is white world. So through this work, Berdon wants to show African Americans' life and culture in 60s. Let's see the next example of collage work. So what do you see through this work of art, everyone? There is a woman on the center of the work. So let's see her body closer. What can you see?
Her body has like, I want to say scales, I think.
Ah, very good. Yes. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
It looks like different vehicle parts on her. Like I think I see like the wheel of a motorcycle or like the wheels of a carriage or something on her.
Perfect. Yes, she has. So a spotted and marbled body evokes expensive uh, designer fabrics, which shows camouflage or disease. When you see the work closer, you, you see some of her body parts consist of the mechanical extension, yes. And the eyes, ear, and mouth are piece of photographs. So this work implies deadly conflicts often erupted in African society. And here's another beautiful three-dimensional collage drawing. So how do you think about this work of art, everyone? It's an abstract art. There is no answer.
That's the paper, right? Design with the paper, right?
Yes, it's paper and it has drawings in it.
It looks like a plant like blooming out of the wall.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Who else? Some of my
What ab-
students said like, it looks like
Light.
light.
What about the light details?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it has lights now, details to make the shadow and the light part. Yes, very good. And somehow it looks like a wave of the
Wave.
ocean or a cloud, right? It's a beautiful installation work by drawing. So it makes line drawings in brush and ink on a large roll of paper. The cutting out selected area makes versions of the drawings in positive and negative shapes. And it assembles the open work drawing on site to create delicate yet turbulent sculptural forms. And these drawings and their shadows capture a weightless world in flux, frozen in time, tottering on the brink of being and not being. So this chapter is done, and we have a sketchbook project related to this drawing chapter. So for the next sketchbook project, we're gonna make a collage drawing. Are you excited?
A little bit.
A little bit. So let me just remind you what the collage is. So collage is a technique of art creation primarily used in the visual arts by which art result from an assemblage of different forms, thus creating a new whole. A collage may sometimes include magazine and newspaper clippings, ribbons, paint, bits of colored or handmade papers, portions of other artwork or text, photographs, and other found objects glued to a piece of paper or canvas. The origins of collage can be traced back hundreds of years, but this technique made a dramatic reappearance in the early 20th century as an art from of novelty. The term collage was coined by both Georges Braque and Pablo Picasso in the beginning of the 20th century, when collage became a distinctive part of modern art. So collage in the modernist sense began with Cubist painters, Georges Braque and Pablo Picasso. According to some sources, Pablo Picasso was the first to use the collage technique in oil painting. And this is another artist's example of collage in painting. And the wood collage is a type that emerged somewhat later than paper collage. Oh, this is my favorite, photo montage. Photo montage collage made from photographs or parts of photographs is called photo montage. Photo montage is the process and result of making a composite photographs by cutting and joining a number of other photographs. The composite picture was sometimes photographed so that the final image is converted back into a seamless photographic print. So the same method is accomplished today using image editing software like Adobe Photoshop. The technique is referred to by professionals as compositing, and this is Richard Hamilton's photomontage work. And this is another example by Richard Hamilton. His works are so modernistic with a creative composition. And we can see he seriously considered of the harmony between the photographs and pieces. There is a video about the basics of collage in the sketchbook forum of the Moodle Room. This is a great guide video to make a collage art for the beginners. So please watch this video before you begin your work of art. So for this project, you will need a sketchbook, magazines, newspapers, old books, copy papers, or any useless papers or objects, and the scissors, glue stick, pencil, eraser, and any color mediums you have. And please choose a simple object or a theme and represent it by collage drawing. As usual, please write a short description about your work of art when you post the process. And the collage art takes a long time from the collecting of paper pieces to the completion of the work. So you can just upload an idea sketch or planning of your collage art today. Okay, so you don't need to make something, don't get pressure. You can just collect the papers and then, make some plan and write the description what you're going to make in the Moodle Room by tonight. So let me share more examples with the simple themes or objects. Again, please choose simple themes
Professor?
or objects.
I'm sorry. So
It's all
are we
right.
gonna just do like just state what we're gonna do in Moodle rooms, or just and then upload it later, or just both? Like do the actual thing today.
I need you to, do at least a sketch because, collecting papers takes time. So
Yeah.
yeah, I want you to make a sketch first, which means, showing your plan, right? So
Okay.
yeah, take a picture and then post it by tonight. And then you can just, glue all the pictures or piece of papers later.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So it is a mixed media collage work. There is a big chunk of watercolor painting with the base and the magazine pieces and some sparkling materials used for this work. Looks cool. And you can just depict your favorite animal, and it used diverse color papers and a rainbow with magazine papers and a dog. You can mix a hand drawing with a collage drawing. And oh, this is one of my favorite. So you can make an abstract image like this. This is one of the excellent example to mix photographs and hand drawing in a collage work. And you can draw something on your collage work, or you can use your old artworks which you don't like, for this collage project. And a self-portrait is also acceptable. And birds, a pair of wheels, and tulips, a liberty of a statue. So like this work, you can use letters to decorate the background or objects, or showing something, meaning or theme in your work. And a girl and a man's photo with pop art style drawing and a chicken. Oh, this is a photo montage style collage work. Also one of my favorite. Like this, you can just make, very simple, just like this work. And a cupcake and a cute dog with watercolor background and a cup of coffee. So that's it. As you can see, you can just pick a simple object or a theme. Like this cup of coffee. Now, there is a note-taking pieces. You can use any useless note-taking pieces, for your projects. Doesn't matter. So, like the examples, do not make it complicated. Now, it will take a long time. So, let me know if you have any questions about this project. I can't wait to see your diverse collage work. Any question, everyone? Okay, give me 1 second. So, when you're ready to post to your sketch or planning of your collage work, please go to week 5 and week 5-2 sketchbook project collage forum. Then you will see, the collage work guide video. So please watch this first before you start your work of art. Give me 1 second. Let me take a picture of your attendance before I let you go. All right. So if you don't have any other question, you can